This is Buddy Buchanan with Leader in Times bringing some High Plains highlights. Wednesday, July 19th, 2017. The path to a Jayhawk League title can be less of a challenge in some years as compared to others. This year's battle to the top of the Jayhawk League was a Royal Rumble between three teams that all had stellar seasons. That, along with one of the biggest turnarounds ever seen down the stretch, makes this one of the sweetest titles for a sports fan. When the BJs knocked off the Dodge City A's on the 4th of July, they were riding a high, sitting in first place by 2 games over Hayes and Derby trailing by 3 games. The BJs seemed to be poised to run away with the league title down this backstretch as they began a 9-game road trip. But the road trip took its toll in the first 6 games. Liberal started by dropping 2 of 3 games in Dodge City, and Liberal's lead in the Jayhawk League dropped to 1 game. The BJs then went to Great Bend on what many thought would at least be a chance to win 2 out of 3 and possibly sweep the Batcats. But the BJs lost the first game 7-2 and then dropped the second game 8-3. Losing the series was bad enough, but the next night, Liberal was swept by the Batcats in a 10-8 loss, and a 21-6 record after the 4th of July, and a 2-game lead in the league was reduced to 22-11, and Liberal fell to 3rd place, trailing Derby, who moved to the top of the standings at 24-9. While the record was still respectable, losing 5 of 6 at that point of the season usually is the beginning of the end, especially when the schedule was only going to get harder. After giving up the league lead in Great Bend, Liberal now had to travel to Derby and play the first-place Twins. Rather than looking at the challenge as a reason to fail, the BJs instead saw the opportunity to get back in the race for the Jayhawk League title. They started with a 9-2 win, but was only able to make up a half game since Hayes moved into first place. The next night, Jaron Robinson hit 3 home runs to lead the BJs by the Twins 20-5, and Liberal moved 1 game behind Hayes. In the final game of the series with Derby, Liberal only scored 3 runs, but it was enough to secure a 3-2 win, completing an improbable 3-game sweep of Derby on the road and remaining a game behind Hayes. The win also capped a 5-1 season record against the Twins, meaning any ties would favor the BJs. Trailing the Larks by a single game, Liberal's schedule could not have provided a better opportunity than to have Hayes come to Liberal for a 3-game series. Liberal had a chance to tie the Larks Saturday in the first game of a doubleheader, and after rallying from 3-0 down to tie the game 3-3, Hayes put together a 5-run 8th inning to win 8-3 and tie the season series at 2-2, while dropping the BJs to 2 games back. But in the second game of the doubleheader, the BJs used strong pitching to hold the Larks to a single run to win 2-1. Still trailing by 1 game, Liberal had to win the series finale Monday after Sunday's game was delayed by rain. Liberal quickly fell behind 3-0 in the top of the first, but the BJs reeled off 9 runs of their own in the first, including a Kyle Schmidt grand slam, and the BJs took a 9-3 lead. Liberal continued to pound the Larks en route to an 18-6 win, which tied the BJs with Hayes in the standings. But Liberal also won the season series 4-2, giving the BJs any tiebreakers. Liberal snapped an 18-year drought of winning the Jayhawk League title, and they did it in one of the most competitive years where 3 teams rose to the top and battled to the bitter end. More importantly was how they did it with their backs against the wall and winning 5 of the last 6 games against the top teams in the league. And with that title, for the first time under the new format, Liberal has automatically qualified for Championship Week of the NBC World Series. Liberal has advanced from the first week tournament in the past, but as the Jayhawk League champions, will move directly to Championship Week, which begins July 29th. Teams participating in the first week are the 316 Elite, Austin Shockers, Fort Collins, Colorado Bandits, Hattiesburg, Mississippi Black Sox, Mulvane Patriots, Inland Empire, California Golden Bears, Fresno A's, Northwest Arizona Boom, Round Rock, Texas Express, Sterling, Colorado Express, West Chase, Texas Express, Jayhawk League 3rd place team, which could be Dodge City or Great Bend, Kansas Regional Tournament winner, Great Southwest League winner, and the Mid-Kansas Collegiate Qualifier winner. Championship Week teams include the Colorado Cyclones, Colorado Sox, Derby Twins, Everett Washington Merchants, Hayes Larks, Kansas Stars, the Liberal BJs, San Antonio Angels, San Diego Force, San Diego Waves, Santa Barbara Foresters, Seattle Studs, Wellington Heat, and the USA National Team. The top 2 teams from the first week also advanced to the second week. Hayes earned the automatic bid after finishing second in last year's tournament to national champion Santa Barbara. 3 teams are making their first ever appearance, including the Hattiesburg Black Sox, which have been playing since 1941, the Northwest Boom of the Sun Belt Collegiate League, and the San Antonio Angels. No teams from Alaska are in this year's tournament. This is Buddy Buchanan at the Leader in Times with your High Plains highlights. God bless, and thanks for watching.